about A&M, people wanted Kevin Sumlin escorted out of College Station, and they put together a couple nice little games here, including winning in Florida. Now, granted, the Gators aren't of what they were yesteryear, but Texas A&M, going to the Swamp, winning a game is still very much an accomplishment.
Yeah, especially with a young team. And candidly, Matt, because I remember our conversations last year, and I used to say the same thing. Basically, I'm tired of being right about Texas A&M, and the fan base should be appalled that they're always wrong. The Aggie fans, you are constantly wrong. It's incredible. Last year, I told you, calm down. You're not the fourth best team in the country, and you should protect yourself against the imminent downfall of your team. Guess what happened? The imminent downfall of your team. This year I said, settle down, and that regent is an idiot for posting that thing on Facebook, and what happened? Settling down, and now they're a much better team than what they were early in the season when they've got all those true freshmen playing, including their quarterback. I mean, my goodness, they're one dropped interception away from being a one-loss team and probably ranked 11th in the country right now. It's just ridiculous, the ebbs and flows of Aggie fans. I can't stand it. They just are so wrong constantly.
All right, well, then you're endearing yourself to the large metropolitan part of Houston, Texas. Good afternoon.
Well, they know it. They should be nodding along and being like, you know what, I hate him, but he's right.
All right. On the national scene, Syracuse...
and in fairness, Matt, you were doing the same thing to Stroh's fans, so we're just endearing ourselves to all of Houston right now.
That's right, but I'm trying, Joel. I'm here every day.
I'm trying for the Aggie fans, too. I was trying to protect them last year. I was trying to talk them off the ledge this year.
Yeah.
That's just what it is.
All right. And again, we're going to keep it a little short this week because we got a lot of Astro fans and angst. Give me a storyline or two that's going to keep us compelled this weekend, because I just feel like until we get in the heart of these conference games, we're just finding a lot of mismatches right now, especially from top of the league to bottom of the league. Where are you this week?
My most compelling storyline, I'm at Oklahoma, Kansas State, and the thing about it is, you got to understand, anyone can beat anyone on any given night. Syracuse proved that. Cal proved that last Friday. Washington goes down to Arizona State. So, there's more parity in college football than people like to talk about. The narratives tend to drive things, and we try to anoint, a sector of teams in the middle of the season as, well, they're going to run the table, and this is going to be just a one-loss team, and so on and so forth. And in reality, that's just not the case. These are 17 to 18 to 22-year-old guys, and they go out there, and sometimes they're not focused. So the storyline is that anybody can beat anybody, right? I mean, A&M gave Bama all they wanted late in that ball game. So that's the best I got, because candidly, we don't have a great game this week. I think Oklahoma should handle Kansas State, but the games that we've got down the stretch are going to be fantastic. We'll likely have Bedlam. We're going to have Ohio State, Michigan. We'll probably have Michigan, Wisconsin. We might have Michigan State, Ohio State. So got some great ones coming down the stretch, and I'm looking forward to it.
How big was the rallying point for Oklahoma against Texas? Is all well back in Norman after that loss to Iowa State?
I don't think all is well. I mean, listen, as I'm preparing for that game, think of it this way. They've now 3 straight games had double-digit leads and then trailed in the fourth quarter of all 3 of those games. They came back to beat Baylor. They came back to beat Texas. They were not able to do that against Iowa State. They have got a serious flaw on their defensive side of the football, and it's namely their pass defense. They are just not good enough, whether it's the personnel or the scheme or a combination of both, which I do think it's a combination. They've got to get better defensively. You can't go out there and just assume that Baker Mayfield is going to constantly rescue your program and the defensive coaching staff from poor schemes and poor play calling with his brilliance. He was able to do that a week ago, and that big long touchdown to Mark Andrews obviously kind of puts him over the top. But that team is a team that has a lot of holes, and I don't know if they're going to go on this miraculous run like they were able to a year ago, just because, namely, that defense is just not where it needs to be.
Lastly, tell me about this James Franklin A&M rumor. And I know you need to go back to the Aggies, but is this really overcoming all the talk of what's turned out to be a pretty good Penn State football season?
I don't think it's drowning out the season by any means. Candidly, I have no idea why James Franklin would even entertain that, other than using it as leverage to get more out of Penn State, which they already just gave him more, I think, just right at the beginning of the season, in terms of an extension and more money. Penn State's a better job than Texas A&M. It just is. Penn State's the premier program in their own state. They have a chance to be the premier program in their own division, and Texas A&M can state neither of those. So money is probably equal at the two. I think the Big Ten right now has a little bit more than the SEC in terms of what they're sharing due to the Big Ten Network. And I think that James Franklin, everything is attainable for him. I mean, heck, he's sitting there at number 2 in the country, and they're not going anywhere anytime soon. So I think it's all rumors, and it'll be used as leverage because I don't think Franklin would want to go down to Texas A&M. Now, I'm not saying he wouldn't want to leave Penn State, period, but not for Texas A&M. Maybe Tennessee. Tennessee's a much better job than Texas A&M.
Oh, there you go. That's the bomb you just dropped on us. And, you know,
well, it is.
Look, that's why I put you on this radio show. I love that you don't hold back, and I appreciate that very much.
Well, I mean, you know, I guess that's truth hurting. I guess I don't know.
Well, I mean, here's the reason why I would go against you a little bit. Not that I have any strong A&M ties, but A&M has got every bell and whistle. Not that Tennessee doesn't, but A&M is spending more money on their program than anybody else in the state. I mean, it's incredible, the facilities and what you could do if you really change things. And maybe there's some people who think that Kevin can do that. That this winning streak is finally turning the corner. So I don't know. Tennessee, you and I have argued about this before. Actually, we agreed about how they should be better. They should have been better for the last 10 years. So to say that Tennessee's a better job than A&M, I need somebody there to prove that to me at this point.
Tennessee is a top 10 job in the country. Literally the country. Their fan base, their facilities, that stadium, that environment, the tradition, the division. I think the division is much more attractive than going and beating your head up against Alabama. Think about it. Since 60 or so, Alabama's won 10 national titles. There's not another team within 5 of that. You know, so it's just not a good situation. Plus, if Texas has a heartbeat, then you're at a second-tier position when it comes to recruiting in the area. Now, you're going to fight and scream, and I'm sure there's Aggie fans right now that are just screaming at their radio, that's not the truth. It's absolutely the truth. You're not as strong a brand as Texas. That's the reason you're in the SEC in the first place.
I'll leave it at that, friend. Always great to hear your voice. I can't wait to really start digging into some awesome matchups. When you get one, Penn State, Ohio State should be one in a couple weeks. Thank you for the time. Safe travels this week, and we'll talk next Wednesday on the show.
A big